Hey, this is a bit random because I don't usually report on new games being announced or released or anything, but there seems to be a lot of debate over this. If you haven't heard about it yet, Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 have been announced in both Japan and in English. The Japanese release is stated to be June of this year. English release isn't known yet, but seeing as how they were announced on the same day, it could actually be a lot sooner than it usually is compared to the Japanese release. But anyway, uh, there doesn't seem to be any sort of agreement on what these games are. A lot of people are immediately jumping to the conclusion that Game Freak, not satisfied with their standard release 2 of a game and then an enhanced version later on technique, is now doing 2 games and then 2 enhanced versions later on. But I don't think that that's the case. And a lot of other people don't think that's the case either, but nobody knows for sure yet because very little has been said about these. Uh, I the fact that the titles have 2 in them probably means that they're sequels and not just slightly changed up. Like, compare Diamond and Pearl to Platinum, and yeah, Platinum is the superior game, and it has a little bit of extra content, especially the Battle Frontier, but with the plot, it doesn't really advance any further. Black and White actually had a lot of loose ends in the plot. Uh, N has one of the dragons under his control and has escaped to areas unknown. Getsis is still somewhere out on the on the large, if that's even a phrase. I think it is. Anthea and Concordia, those 2 girls that are in the intro, never do anything, so it'll be interesting to see if they return. The Undella Ruins have a bunch of messages that have been translated by fans, but nothing in-game has any sort of a cipher that lets you decode these. So, I'm not sure if they were really meant to be read yet, and by extension, I'm not sure if you were really meant to get the Relic Crown yet. I mean, obviously people were going to get it, but when you go to sell it to that one treasure collector, he seems to kind of make a huge deal about, like, are you sure you want to get rid of this? And I've had a hunch ever since I played the games that those are going to come into play somewhere else. So I'm thinking there's a chance, it might be a small one, but there is a chance that everyone who did sell that crown is going to end up regretting it if it does something useful in the next game. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with these games. If they are sequels, they're probably not going to use the same characters as the first Black and White, because then they'd have to justify a reason why you lost your whole team, including the legendary dragon that you catch. And I highly doubt they would include something that lets you transfer over your save file, because then what would you do if you didn't have the previous game? And there's the whole problem of level curves. So yeah, it's probably going to be a new character. Possibly not starting in Nuvema Town and proceeding through the game the same way that you did before. It could be a whole nother section of the region, because if you look at the Battle Subway map, there are actually a few places that the trains can take you that are nowhere on the map. And there's also Anvil Town, which has very little purpose. So, I'd be interested to see the region be expanded a bit. And also, just because I feel like I should mention it, there are theories going around that these games also might double as Ruby Sapphire remakes, based off of the sole bit of evidence that the Japanese logos for the games include a blue and a red rock. And while this could be true, and I would be pretty happy if it was true, because I am looking forward to Ruby Sapphire remakes, chances are pretty high that this is just seeing something where there is nothing. Because if you'll remember, Zekrom flashes blue and Reshiram flashes red in their animations, and hey, that's the colors. It doesn't have to be Ruby and Sapphire. That's probably just people being hopeful. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I guess I'm not going to be reporting on more news when this game comes out, when these games come out, rather, because everybody can just look that up themselves. I just wanted to put this out so people know that I know about them and I have thoughts about them, and hopefully other people will be able to come up with their own thoughts and post them in the comment section. Definitely hoping it's not just a gray version split into two. If it is, that would be pretty disappointing, but I'm thinking it definitely isn't.